Namaste. Namaste and welcome to this short practice of the side plank. So side plank is a posture that some people find really challenging until you build up sufficient stability and strength to do it. So what can you do in the meantime, or what can you do to help establish that stability and strength? So I recommend starting with the wall. So having a handy piece of wall is really good, and you might find that side plank is easier on your hand than it is on a forearm, but that is something to find out. So if your first point of practice is going to be at the wall, then standing with your hands at around about shoulder height on the wall, nice and soft in the elbow, little release down with the shoulder, and then walking your feet as far away from the wall as feels comfortable, so that you can begin to establish that sense of strength and support through the underneath arm and side of the body as well. So the thing that some people do, which is not helpful, is they let their hips sag towards the wall. So what we want to do in side plank is to lift the underneath side of the body away from whatever the support is. So whether it is the wall or the floor. And it's also helpful to reach our other arm out as well. So we draw the shoulder blades towards each other, find that length through the body. And just holding here will be is sufficient to begin to build up that strength. But if you wish to, you can do a little bend and stretch of that elbow as well, which will help to strengthen the arm and also across the chest and the upper back. So this is a first point, and of course stepping towards the wall to release out and just allowing that arm that's been doing the work to have a little bit of a rest. And then an alternative to that is to establish your forearm on the wall. So it's the same principle. The forearm is wherever it would be if it was on the floor underneath the body. So you could have it this way round or this way round, as you choose. Maybe you play with that, feel what's best for your shoulder. A little bit of both is probably quite useful. And then again, walking your feet away so that you're leaning towards that arm that's on the wall and establishing, pressing down into the wall to really lift the body away from the wall. And you can play here, not with the arm, but with your hips. So reaching the hips away from the wall and back towards the wall a little bit to strengthen the sides of the body. So this one is quite good, and chair yogis might also be able to do this one to establish those sides of the body strengthening type of affairs. So another thing that you can do while you're at the wall with either the elbow or, let's say, in this case, the elbow in the opposite orientation, or not, is to work the leg that's away from the wall. So having established your hips and body as far away from the supportive wall as possible, you can lift your outside leg out and back towards the inside foot. And the other thing that you can do is to lift your underneath leg away as well. So both of these will help to both of these drills with your legs will help to build strength down the sides of the legs as well and through your core. So useful, different positions of the arms: hand, elbow, hand pointing up, elbow, hand pointing sideways. And you can progress this towards the floor by coming down to a sofa or a chair that's not going to move. So you can work at an inclined position rather than on the floor. But when you're ready to come to the floor, I have put my mat away today, so I'm just going to do it here on the floor. I like to come into a hands and knees position. And then from here, I'm going to work with my left side first. So I'm taking my left leg back, and then here, spinning on the right knee so that I end up sideways over the right shoulder, the right knee, and with the left leg extended. So this is the first side plank variation that I like to work with on the floor. And again, it's the same principle. We don't want to be tucking the tailbone back. We're tucking the tailbone under, opening up the sides of the body so the whole of the body is lengthened in this side position. We can reach the other arm up, and we can even lift that left leg away from the floor, up and down. Will help to establish lovely strength down the side, left side of the body and across the core. So a really nice thing to do, and you can spin back to the floor and just give yourself a little bit of a wiggle. And once you've established that side plank variation, I'm going to do the other side while I'm here, then you can do a little bit of extra work here. So same principle, you spin on the leg, you turn the body to be sideways, but this time, if you turn the right foot away from you, you can reach the other arm up and over and get a really nice sense of open length all down the side of that side of the body, which is really nice as well. So a nice way to stretch out and come to using side plank in a little bit of a different way. So the other way to get into this pose is to come through gate pose. So you start with the hips facing the front, and then you reach down to one side and reach over. And again, it's the same principle. You can go to either side, lifting if you wish to. You can come a little bit lower onto that underneath arm by bending the elbow, doing a little bending and lengthening here to provide a bit of additional strength, which is also nice. So when you have established those and they feel like they're relatively easy, then you can come into this from plank pose. So we start in a plank pose, and you can have your knees down and then just rolling to one side. So you've got one knee stacked on top of the other and raising the arm, top arm up into the air. And again, it's that whole not collapsing towards the floor, but creating space underneath the body. And then once you have done that, I'm going to change to the other way around again. I can balance out my sides. Once you've done that with your feet apart, then you can drop your heels to one side and lift that top arm up. And here, you've got one foot in front of the other, so you create quite a wide, stable base for the bottom of the body. And again, you're lifting your hips as high as feels comfortable, not sagging down. And once you have done that and you feel comfortable, you can have the feet side by side, one on top of the other. So when you roll to the side, you can lift the top arm, you've got the legs stacked, and you're in your side plank proper, if you like. Super stuff. So there are lots of things you can do from side plank once you get there, and it's a great posture for building up that core strength and really supporting the sides of the body. There's some lovely things that you can do for the hips and hip stability when you're up there as well. But getting there is a little bit of a journey. So practice some of these easier options. I hate using the word easier, but it's true. These are easier options to establish your strength and stability so that you can gradually progress towards a full side plank. And when you're ready for side plank variations from there, I'll do another video for that. Namaste.